Hard sports all plays. Yeah. Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Hard sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays. Yeah.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to GSR Gonzo Sports Room, Monday, August 21st, 2023. I'm Gonzo, joined by none other than Big Glenn. How's it going, Glenn?
I'm doing good. I'm definitely not the judge, but I'm Big Glenn. I'm here, ready to go, man. I saw Billy Bill's comments, so I had to say that.
Yeah. Gonzo and the judges tomorrow night.
Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, same time.
It's going to be Tuesday, Thursday, same time. Mondays, Wednesdays, GSR. But I know you had a busy weekend. How was your weekend, man?
It was pretty good. Got to see the Fever play on Friday. I think it was Friday at least. I can't remember which day it was. But yes, I'm doing good, Billy. I'm doing fantastic. Hope you're doing well. But had a post-game meet and greet. Everything with after that game on Friday with Kelsey Menzel and Alyssa Smith, and that was fantastic. I ended up getting back just in time. I remember I hit you up. I was like, "Hey, was you wanting to do the show tonight?" It was like because I was like ready to go, but I know Fridays aren't guaranteed in that way, so I was like, figured to ask you anyway. But it was a great weekend.
Oh, is Chase Elliott going to get a win, man? Is he going to make the playoffs?
If he wins
I thought that was going to be the week. I thought Sunday was going to be the day. I thought that was the one.
I thought the last two Sundays were going to be the week as well. But see, the thing is, though, everybody's caught up to him on the road course package, the next-gen car and everything. So it's possible he'll win Daytona, but I really don't foresee it. I think he'll win a race in the playoffs, but he won't be a participant in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Lost season in that way, but
weird.
Yeah, your house season like that. Reggie Miller had a lost season that way when he had that orbital eye socket injury, then Peyton Manning had one in 2003.
You're a big race fan. So let me ask you this, because this is a question that I'm curious about.
Yeah.
They go to the playoffs. Why don't they just cut the field down to the cars that are in the playoffs and them cars just race in the playoffs?
I don't know why they don't do it, but I do know that every team still races, all the way to the end. So I guess it makes for entertaining TV to have all 39 cars out on the track. So
yeah, I was just wondering, since it's your playoffs, why not just have like the however many cars qualify for the playoffs? That you have the playoff races with
it would look good for TV's sake. I think that's the reason why they always have all 39 or in prior seasons before they.
Yeah. No, I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying I think that would make the play. personally, I think it'd make the playoffs more interesting if it was like that. But I understand what you're saying about the TV and everything. But I think it'd be interesting if it was just like even if you took like instead of 13, like 20 cars or something.
Yeah, like the top 20 points.
They said they won't sell tickets, and that's true. That's true, Billy.
Especially
I understand that. I just think it'd be. You guys are making great points. That's why it's not going to change. I just think it would be interesting to see a race like that.
I wouldn't mind like IROC style in that way. I mean, IROC pretty much had like anywhere from 12 to I want to see him win Saturday. Unfortunately, myself, Billy, but I gotta attach my hitches to a driver that's in the playoffs, which be Davis Mann and Kyle Busch. So.
Kyle Busch.
Yep. He went from being one of the most hated drivers to one of the most, I won't say most popular, but well beloved in that way. So.
Yeah. How many? So they have one more race before the playoffs. And how many races are there in the playoffs?
That's a good question. I know the 36 races. I think it's 10. Each round is three rounds, and the last race is the championship 4 round. So that's 9, 3, 3, and 3 and 1 for championship in Phoenix, which I'll be down there for that in person. So that's on my birthday week. So I'm gonna have one hell of a good time down there. That's my fan right there.
Best 20 on Kyle every race to win.
I bet a couple of free bets on Chase Elliott to win the last couple of Sundays, and it's not turned out too well. Well, the ending was the better of the two. Yesterday was just,
Yeah.
Shop
and
report.
The shop report. We're right into it. We're right. Good segue right into one of our topics that we're going to talk about. The Colts Jonathon Taylor to go seek a trade, but I still think he's going to be a Colt this season. I think it's going to be hard to pull off, find a trade and sign and trade basically because he's going to want a contract. And the Colts aren't just going to give him away. They're going to have to get a good offer. I'm hearing that they're wanting at least a first round pick for him or a package that they think is equivalent to his potential. So it's going. I think it's going to be hard to get a trade done this time of the year. I think if it was earlier in the offseason, you had a better chance. But with the season only a week and a half away, I think it's going to be a little harder. Well, I have heard that from what I'm seeing, the Dolphins are interested. What the Dolphins are willing to give up to get him, I don't know. So it'll be interesting. I actually picked them up in the draft yesterday. So in the fantasy football. So I don't care what team he's on. I hope he has a good season. But I hope he's with the Colts because he's a good player. He had a down year last year, but a lot of that was due to injury. He tried to play through that injury, and he just couldn't perform like he did a year before. I think he'll come out and have a good season, but I just don't see him getting nothing done right now.
No.
And I think he'll end up being with the Colts week 1, but it's going to be interesting to see what your take on it.
Ooh, I think he does get dealt to a team because I think with Arcee and Ballard sitting him down and talking to him and telling him that he can go seek a trade, tells me that they're willing to part away with him if they can get something for him. That's a nice deal. I'm thinking it's going to take a Christian McCaffrey-esque type of deal for the Colts to be able to part with him.
And I think that's the problem. I think that's going to be the problem with trying to trade him right now is because I don't know if they're going to get that kind of offer that they're wanting. I don't know if anybody's going to offer the Colts what the Colts are going to want. So that's why I kind of lean toward he's going to be a Colt because I agree with what Les Duncan says here.
Yeah,
Colts shouldn't let him go without a great return. No, you can't just let the guy walk. You have to get something for him.
Yeah,
and you should get a pretty good haul for him because I mean he's a good player.
Yeah, there was a projected trade idea on Twitter. I think it may have been from like Sports Media or something like that. That it was like it was a severely low ball offer for JT. It was like a second, third, and some random player for Jonathon Taylor. I was like, that's not gonna work.
Yeah. Les says he's no longer a JT
He's
fan.
gonna get booed in the opener if he's still with us. You know what's gonna happen.
His whole attitude. I agree. And that's the other thing. That's why I just don't think he has a whole lot of leverage. But that was the other thing. A month and a half ago, 2 months ago, he was going to play through his rookie deal. Everything was great, and then all of a sudden he gets a new agent, and his whole attitude has changed. And I'm wondering if that's why the Colts have okayed him to go seek a trade, was because they're trying to build a new culture there with Steichen. And if you have everybody bought in the building, but one guy kind of hanging out by himself, in a bad mood, you know what I mean? I think that they're going to see if we can get a good enough offer. Maybe we want to get that out of our building because we're trying to change that culture. But
yeah,
I think it's going to take a good haul because I don't see Irsay just giving them away to get rid of him. He's going to get the value that he thinks is worthy.
Yeah, I do believe. I mean, I do feel like he probably will get dealt if there's a good enough deal out there, but it's just so close to the season at this point where it could making a move could be probably not a good idea, or the availability of a roster spot's not good as well. So these next 2 weeks are going to be interesting, that's for sure. So
John said,
sign me up, Jonathan. Sign me up.
I've heard a lot of people talking about it. The Dolphins are going to definitely be interested in him. So, but yeah,
I'll be up for that because Eli is pretty good.
I mean, yeah, that wouldn't be a bad deal at all. And yeah, Bill, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to do surgery and cut that cancer out, and I think that maybe the culture to that point.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting. But like I said, I just don't know if they're going to get the kind of offer that they want at this time in the season. So it's going to be interesting to see.
It definitely will be, man. I do believe though that some of that issue last year with the way the team was playing up in New York at the end of the year, where they just didn't give a crap, I'm sure the locker room cancer could come from some of that situation as well, not having Jonathon and stuff. So,
yeah, it's good. Like I said, it's going to be interesting. What do you think of the Colts' decision not to play Anthony Richardson Saturday night in the preseason game? I was kind of surprised that they set him out, but I've heard a reason why, and it makes sense if that's the reason why. But I know on the McAfee show, Pat McAfee said he got to the game and the first person he saw was Steichen, but he said that he was started talking about Anthony Richardson with Steichen, and Steichen said he wasn't going to play him, and he was like, "What?" And he said that Steichen said he wouldn't play in the starting offensive line, so he wasn't putting him out there. So
that makes sense.
That's the reason I've heard, is because they wanted to see what their backup linemen looked like, and they decided they weren't going to play the starters, so they decided they weren't going to put him out there. I think he'll play a little bit this next preseason game Thursday night.
Thursday, yeah. Yeah, I think the big thing, and I can see why, and I'm not upset about Anthony not playing on Saturday, but I saw a lot of Colts fans on Twitter and Facebook groups, man, that actually spent money and went to the game on Saturday, was pretty upset that he didn't play. Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of people mad.
Yeah, it's almost like those Red fans.
Pat McAfee said he said I was upset at first. He goes, I agree with his decision. I understand why he done it. But he said, but I was disappointed. He goes, I got a sitter. I could have waited and got a sitter a different night.
Yeah,
I started
exactly.
cracking up.
Because
But,
he's got his kid now.
I mean, I understand it.
Oh, most definitely, man. I think sometimes I think fans just in general, they get in their feelings too much with things. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's fandom kind of deal. So
John Sexton said the Bills' starting running back is out for the season with knee injury. Don't count out the Bills. That's an interesting spot as well.
yeah, this means that Josh Allen in our fantasy league, man, is going to be doing pretty good this year because I picked him in the second round. I was surprised he was still up
Yeah,
there
like I
with him.
said, I have Jonathan Taylor on my fantasy football team. I ended up drafting him yesterday. So
Yeah,
I hope is playing somewhere and gets going, but we'll see what happens. I mean, if
most
he's healthy,
definitely.
he's a great running back. He's healthy. He's a great running back. He can run. He can catch the ball out of the backfield.
Marshall
He's
Faulk
like
type
you
of
said.
player,
He's comparable to a McCaffrey type player. I'm not
Yeah,
saying he's Christian McCaffrey, but he's comparable to that type of player. He can be you can put him in a receiver position. He can be a running back. What I mean, you can use him in a lot of
yeah,
different ways. He can be the best player on your offense.
yeah. We got
What, what
yeah.
do you think about Billy's question there, Joe? So
It's interesting.
I know you're
Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't want to talk bad about Zeke because he was with my other team, the Cowboys, but I think Ezekiel is on that downward trajectory. I was getting ready to go in on him, saying I was getting ready to say something else, but I was like, no, I'm not going to go there tonight. But he's on that downward trajectory. But I do think he could fit in well and do well for the Patriots. Unfortunately for Frankie.
I actually think Elliott's going to have a good year this year. I like the fit with
Yeah,
him
he'll have a
in
good
New
year,
England
no doubt.
and over there. So I do. I think it's going to be real interesting. And I think Elliott could have a bounce back year. You're going over with Belichick. They're going to try to run the ball. And what the Patriots were missing last year that was a short down guy, especially in the red zone, and that's where Zeke has been pretty good at. So I think it's going to be a good fit. Uh, John Suggs
Yeah,
says he's a Pats fan, and I will say, yeah. I think you did probably paid a little too much for him, but I do. I think he's gonna have a good year this year. I really do. I've said that since he went to the Patriots. I think that's just a good fit for him,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
think he
Bill
wants to. I
Belichick.
think he wants to prove. I think he wants to prove to Dallas and people and people in the media and stuff that hey, I got
I'm
more
cool
left than what
with
you
that.
guys think.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
so it's going to be interesting.
Bill Belichick has a good habit of resurrecting running backs' careers to some extent, whether it been Corey Dillon or I think was it Leonard Fournette and Vic Ballard that also was running backs for the Patriots during the later Super Bowl runs. So Bill Belichick has had a good track record when it comes to that kind of deal, those kinds of deals. So I definitely expect him to do better than last. That's at the very least for sure.
Yeah, and Jonathan Suggs also, when we was talking about Jonathan Taylor, said the Bears have the cap space and upcoming talent. Uh, he would go there. He could go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that too. And I think didn't wasn't Eberflus still in Indianapolis
Yes, he
Taylor's
was.
rookie season? So I do think they probably have some kind of relationship.
I think he was still
So they probably
with
have
us
some kind of
when
relationship. So I
after.
mean, the Bears, I think could be a possibility. That's a good one. So they
Oh
could
yeah,
have a relationship because I'm positive Eberflus was defensive coordinator his rookie season, wasn't he?
Yeah. Also, I think Eberflus was with them when his second year as well. So I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but
So yeah, I mean that.
there's definitely a relationship there, and he's pretty much been tied to Chicago and those kind of talks since day one.
All right. What do you think about Michigan deciding to go ahead and suspend Harbaugh 3 games herself with the self-imposed suspension after the NCAA canceled the 4 game? What are we doing here? I mean,
I don't even know what the hell they doing.
let's
That's
just play football.
Yeah, exactly. Because we got week zero coming up this weekend. I think don't we have a game on Thursday this week for week zero? I mean, I know we got the Notre Dame game in Ireland this weekend. So, but yeah, that situation makes no sense whatsoever.
Jay Ness says that his Cards are going to trade 2 seconds in this year's first and next year's first for Jonathon Taylor. Laughing out loud.
That wouldn't surprise me.
He would like Taylor there in Arizona.
Oh, I bet he would.
And it didn't. Well, they picked up Marlon Mack, and then he got hurt and is out for the season. So I mean, they could be looking for a running back out there in the desert.
Yeah, I think the tale of caution when it comes to injuries across the sports world this year, whether it be Chase Elliott on snowboards or Marlon Mack on a jet ski, man. Try living your activities in that way when it comes to things like that, so you don't get hurt. I mean, I know athletes should be able to live their lives outside of sports, but you gotta be smarter when it comes to these situations, man.
Oh yeah, their first 4 games aren't tough. I understand that.
Heck,
They
a month
start their second
could be,
streak.
and they could be better than that, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think
All
Eastern
right.
Carolina.
That's all.
Yeah, what?
What'd you say about Eastern Carolina?
I was going to say, I think Eastern Carolina might give them a little scare. They used to be pretty good. I'm not sure how good they are now, because but I think they would probably give them something. I mean, Appalachian State did it.
Yeah, might be able to. All right, who you think's going to win the? Let's start with the AFC North. Who you think's going to win that division? You got the Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, Browns. Who you think's going to come out on top in that division? I think that division could be interesting.
Yeah, the division definitely will be interesting. I think it's going to come. The winner of that division is going to be our brother or sister team of the Cincinnati Reds, the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, the AFC North has always been the toughest division in football, but I think the Bengals are the team to beat in that division. I think Ravens will give them a little bit of hell, maybe Cleveland as well. Pittsburgh might be a surprise because of who's the coach, obviously, but I think the Bengals reign supreme in the North and rule the jungle in that way. So,
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be the Bengals, but I think the Steelers could be up there competing for maybe that second spot. It's a lot of that's going to depend on the development of Kenny Pickett. But he started showing some signs later in the season last year of some starting to grow and mature into the game, seeing things a little quicker. So I can see them being up there. The Browns are going to be interesting because they got some talent, but what does Deshaun Watson have left after being out for so long?
Yeah.
Didn't look the same last year, which I didn't expect him to. Now he gets to go through a whole preseason, start a regular, regular, not with everything else going on. So it depends on what kind of level he can play at. I think they could be dangerous, but I like the Ravens as well. I think the Ravens are going to be good. So I probably put the Ravens at number 2 in Pittsburgh right there battling for him. But I think the Ravens are going to be good. I think Lamar Jackson is going to have a big bounce back year this year after having some injuries the last couple seasons.
Yeah. Well, Steph, I would say something about Deshaun Watson, but I don't want to get canceled in that way. So.
But no, I think the Bengals win the division with Joe Burrow on the offensive side, and then that defense they have. I think Cincinnati's going to be tough to beat. So I definitely have them in that division. I think Cincinnati's going to be a tough out for anybody going into the playoffs if they're healthy. And that's what it all comes down to. That's what it comes down to almost every season is which team has been able to stay the healthiest and most together and hasn't had to change a whole lot. Them are, a season can get just totally changed just because of one injury.
Yeah, and the Bengals almost had to go through that with that calf injury because that calf injury of Joe Burrow, man, there for a minute it was looking like it was the Achilles, especially where the area.
The way he reacted on that video, I thought for sure it was the Achilles. That's what. Usually when you see that reaction like that, that's what it is. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, they got lucky there that it was just a calf sprain because he'd have been out the season and I don't even know who their backup quarterback is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
To be honest, I don't.
Let's just hope that the Bengals won't have to worry about that in that way because even though I like the Colts and the Cowboys, I do got some love for the Bengals in that way because Cincinnati Reds fan, things like that. I want to see the Cincinnati do well just in general. So
let's jump over to the AFC West. Do you think any team in that division going to be able to take down the Chiefs?
Hell no. I think if any team has a chance, it might be San Diego. But let's be honest, you got Patrick Mahomes in that division. That dude runs wild on everybody. There's no way like it's going to be anybody but the Chiefs. I mean, if anything, San Diego or LA Chargers might have a chance. So,
I think Chargers have a good chance. I think Chargers have a good chance to win that division. If you watch the Chargers when they played the Chiefs when Herbert was healthy, Chargers was right there. And Herbert had that rib injury, and it that kind of messed up their season a little bit. Only thing that scares me about the Chargers is I don't really trust their coach Staley to make when you have to make some big decisions at the end of the games. It seems like sometimes he don't know what the hell's going on. I like that they brought Kellen Moore in. I think that's going to be a good fit with Justin Herbert. If the Chargers can stay healthy, I think they're going to be a scary team. That's the problem over the last 2-3 years. They look like they're going to be a real good team, but injuries have kind of derailed their seasons a little bit. And I think their defense is going to be better this year than what it was last year. And I think that's going to be a big key to why they have more success this year than what they've had last year.
Yeah, when it comes to the AFC West, we'd be more likely to try to figure out who's going to finish at the bottom of the division in that way with the West, whether it be Oakland or Denver, Just because of the Denver situation. I mean, they could probably be better.
I was going to ask you about that. I was going to ask you about Denver. Why you think they're going to look better this year with Sean Payton? You think he's going to be able to turn it around, or is Russell Wilson not Russell Wilson anymore?
I think that his invincibility in that way is gone. I mean, he was a good player when that team had a good defense on the other side of the ball in that way. But like ever since he went to his last few years in Seattle, then once he got traded to Denver, I could see the wheels coming off the bus in that way, And usually when a team trades you, when you're that kind of caliber player that's done well for your team in that city, that might be a sign that You're going downhill on that one.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what John's saying here that he thinks that Peyton can give him 2 or 3 more wins, but it's still going to look ugly. That's kind of what I think as well. Russell Wilson didn't look the blame some of it on the coaching because I mean the coaching wasn't great there with Hackett, but I think some of it was Russell Wilson as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what he looks like, and is he going to be willing to run a little bit? He's usually at his best when he's using his legs a little bit, and last year he didn't run at all. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. But I think they'll be better than they were last year. But I don't look for them to really be a contender or
a
playoff team this year.
I can see him being like a 5 or 6 win team at best.
What do you think about the AFC South?
Ooh, buddy, that's a good question.
Got the Colts.
I can see the Colts being in there in that 2 to 3. Maybe not division winners.
I'm a Colts fan, and I don't get me wrong. I hope we win the division. But I think I think right now you have to have the Jags as the favorite to win the division.
Tennessee right behind.
What they done, how they played last year. You got second year with Peterson there. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to look even better this year than he was looking toward the middle and end of the season last year. So yeah, I think the Jags have to be the favorite in that division. But I do think I agree. I think the Colts could be 2 or 3, depending on how things go. But it's going. I think it'll be interesting. You don't know what Tennessee's going to be. They're always kind of, I don't know. They'll look good and then they kind of struggle. Then they look good and they kind of struggle. But they're usually a team that's been winning consistently 8 or 9 games a year. So, I mean, they're not just a easy victories. So you don't know what the Texans are going to be with first year coach, rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see I think they're building in the right direction. I just don't know if they're ready to be ready
far away right now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how them young players play.
Yeah, I think they'll win 4 games. Maybe not 4, but I think they win. It'll be like similar to last year. I think they get 2 or 3 wins. Colts, I'll take 5, maybe 6. But that division definitely coming down to Jags and Titans. But I think Jags are the ones that go over this year. And before we move on to the next division, yeah, it's possible, and don't get me wrong, but September 10th, our streak of losing home games, season openers, that comes to an end. Colts are going to beat Jacksonville on September 10th. And everybody, all of our Colts fans, after the game, they're going to be thinking that we're going to the Super Bowl and everything else, you know. But we will win on September 10th. We won't win the game when we go back down there. So, unfortunately,
I think that's going to be an interesting game, and that place is going to be fired up. You got a lot of Colts fans right now that are fired up about Anthony Richardson. That place is going to be packed. It's going to be fun. Yeah, Richardson didn't play. A lot of pissed off people. But, hey, I understand it in a way, but also, I mean, the only way he's going to keep getting better is to play. And so you know what I mean. But I also understand you don't want to take a chance and get him injured in the preseason either. So.
Have like a Michael Vick situation, you know, when he was with Atlanta.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. What do you think about the AFC East?
Ooh, buddy, that's
anybody going to take down the? Anybody going to take down the Bills, or is these newly revamped Jets, led by Aaron Rodgers, are they going to be able to take down the Bills for that division?
Highly
or the
possible.
Dolphins with a healthy Tua?
I think
with a healthy Tua?
Yeah, I think it could be the Jets in that way. I would not put it past them for the Jets to beat them out for the AFC East by a game or a tiebreaker situation. So I'm going to let them say the Jets going to shock the world this year in that way and take the AFC East for the first time in forever. Patriots will
John
be
says
competing.
Dolphins, Jets, Bills, Pats. So Jonathan has
The Bills falling out,
John
bro.
Suggs has the Bills in third. He has the Bills
Ugh.
falling to third in the division.
I don't know about that. I think at the worst, two, maybe two.
It's going to be interesting. I think the Jets are going to be a good team. I think the Bills are going to be good. I still don't know what to expect from the Dolphins. It's hard for me to trust Tua is going to be there all 17 games. And for some reason, they brought in a coach that's supposed to be like a run game specialist, but they passed the ball way more than like any, almost more than any other team. They never even hardly ran the ball. And that's another thing I think is going to get Tua killed if they don't start running the ball a little bit more. So it's going to be interesting with the Dolphins, but I'm gonna go with the Jets. I'm gonna say Jets, Bills, and then probably then Dolphins, and I think the Patriots are gonna be at the tail end.
Yeah, the Patriots and the Dolphins could definitely flip flop for that 3/4 last place in that way. The Patriots will be competitive, but they're not going to be competitive enough to keep up with the leaders of the pack in that way. It's possible, Jonathan.
Oh yeah, no, it's possible they had some injury problems last year, and and it hurt them. So yeah, it's possible. That's why that's why I'm going with the Jets to win the division. I think the Jets are, if they figure that offensive line out a little bit, I think the Jets are going to be a tough team. They have a defense, and if they can give Rodgers time to distribute the ball, and he has a defense, I think they can be scary.
Yeah. It almost be as scary as thinking of just Jets in the Super Bowl in general, because, they haven't been in the Super Bowl since my mom was like 2 or 3 years old. So, but hey, this could be the year in that way. This could be it.
Never know.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, man, you
And
have anything else? Anything else you want to touch on tonight? I know you watched Monday Night Raw. What do you think about Raw tonight?
Pretty good show. It was pretty good. I caught the end of it. I didn't catch all of it, fortunately. But the main event was great. I knew once Cody came out and they disqualified Damian Priest, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be a tag team match. And that's why I posted a picture of Tay Long earlier. When I was because I know back in the SmackDown days, every time something like that happened, Tay Long, that we're gonna have ourselves a tag team match, player.
Yeah, dude, you have to go back and watch our show from wrestling show from earlier. We done like a fantasy wrestling draft.
Oh yeah, and, definitely.
Damian DeVille, pro wrestler Damian DeVille, and pro wrestler Justin Danger joined us, and they drafted and myself, Dad, and Marcus Fine. I thought it went pretty good. It was
oh yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting to see who all everybody picked. And like once somebody took somebody, you couldn't take them.
Oh goodness, yeah. So you can't have multiple picks in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do the NFC on Wednesday? NFC winners on Wednesday?
Yeah, we'll do NFC on Wednesday.
Okay. That's my figure.
Hey, how's it going? Christian Cash says Raw was dope.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And he said I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say. I tell you, AEW.
Hi, Kenny. Hi, Kenny. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, man. It's good to see everybody here tonight. Pretty busy night in that way for us in the comment section. Oh yeah, we were just talking about that earlier today about on the.
Oh yeah, dude, that was awesome.
Oh, buddy.
But they ended up losing the damn game. But then
Yeah,
they got rained. They got rained out today, so now they got to play a doubleheader on Wednesday.
yeah.
The
Hopefully,
game got postponed
it'll
today because they're in Los Angeles, and you have had all that rain yesterday, or what? So they had with that hurricane going through, so they decided not to play. They're supposed to play tonight. They play tomorrow night, I think around 9:40, and then they play at like 4:00 and 9:00 or something like that on Wednesday.
they probably got like one of those cranes or heavy machinery things to keep the turf down. You know, from the hurricane.
Yeah, I figured we'd do the NFC on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then, we're only about a week and a half away from we have some regular season football to talk. I'm ready for that. Ready for like and on Wednesday. On Wednesday we can talk Colts and the Eagles because they play Thursday night preseason. So we can talk a little bit about that. I think they're doing a joint practice with the Eagles this week as well.
Yeah, I want to say that they went out to Philadelphia for that, but I could be wrong because I know Colts camp.
No, yeah, they're going to Philadelphia for that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just want to say, yeah, then they actually
because they had reported Jonathon Taylor was traveling. They reported Jonathon Taylor was traveling to Philadelphia with the Colts. Yeah, they're traveling to Philadelphia and they're supposed to be doing some joint practices, and then they're going to go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I may try to go to the Colts opener on 10, man, just to check it out, man, because it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I'll probably check some of it out Thursday night. John says Commanders broke Ravens' preseason record tonight with a field goal. Yeah, that was a back and forth game tonight between the Ravens and Commanders. I watched a little bit of it. What wasn't too bad for a preseason game. You usually get preseason games.
Which one of them two won the win tonight? Sound like
it was. No, I watched a little bit of it, but I didn't catch all of it. But what I saw of it was pretty good. But yeah, broke the record with a field goal. I knew they were down 2. They were driving.
Yeah,
the last I'd seen. All right, brother. Was there anything else we didn't touch on that you wanted to touch on tonight?
The Fever did good. Oh yeah, they won their game in Phoenix on Sunday, which would be yesterday, almost 2 days ago now. But I think they'll finish the season strong and everything. But based on the cumulative record and everything, even if the Fever did win out, they would still end up with the best odds at number 1 draft pick. So we could afford to win some games in that way, So
who do you think is going to be the number 1 draft pick this year?
Ooh, goodness gracious. That's a hard one.
Anybody stand out?
It depends on which of the 3 are going to be if any of them will take their COVID year. But the top 3 is expected to be between Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, and Cameron Brink. I do believe if it's Caitlin,
could you imagine?
Yeah.
What did you say about Clark?
I was going to say something, but I think I know where you're going with this, so I'm going to let you ask me this question.
Oh, I was going to say, can you imagine Clark and Boston together?
Hell yeah. That's where it's good to go with that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you get them 2 together.
Yep.
I think you're building a real good core.
Yo, buddy, you ain't lying. That gets me excited.
Yeah. Yeah, we were thinking the same on that one.
Yeah, that's why I was
that's what I was thinking. If Clark comes out and you can get Clark and pair her with Boston
and Grace Berger too on the other end, and that way, ooh, buddy. Championship.
Yeah, they could be building something. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, we played
One
the
of
most
these.
close games in that way in the WNBA this year. Like it's crazy. It's a crazy stat that I've seen Pat Wallen throw out. It's like 67% of our games have been clutch games this year.
And what? We're just about a couple months away before NBA preseason.
Actually, we're close to
Little
about,
less than 2 months.
yeah.
Little less than
The
2
day
months,
that
actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say the day that I fly to Orlando for WWE NXT, which is October 10th, is the day that we play our first preseason game. So we're technically just a hair bit over a month before the NBA preseason because 1 month, probably this week or next week, is when all the players start coming back to Indianapolis to do training camp. I think training camp is like the last week or second to last week of September. So I can't wait.
Yeah, I think it is. So yeah, it's going. I like watching NBA. I get more into the NFL than I do the NBA. But then when the NFL season ends, then then I get back into the NBA a little bit more. I'll still watch like some games on nights during the week, especially when you got some certain teams matching up against each other, uh, and watch those. But yeah, once you get closer to Christmas, that's when I really get start getting into the NBA season. Once you get toward Christmas.
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed in the Pacers' schedule this year, actually. So there's not a road game on a or a Monday or Wednesday this year. I was hoping there was going to be so I could catch a Pacer game and NXT on the same trip, but unfortunately that can't happen this year. So
John says it'll be Clark or Reese.
yeah,
Who would you rather have, Clark or Reese? If they both came out and you had the number one pick, who you taking?
man, that's a hard question to answer, but I'm gonna answer it anyway. It would still be Caitlin Clark because
I agree. That's who I would take.
The way she has shot against IU and just because being an IU fan of the women's team in that way, just IU in general, you see her.
Oh yeah, I'm a big IU fan. I'm a big IU fan as well. We suck in football. We're starting to get better in basketball again.
Yeah,
our women's basketball team was good last year.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Miami, both the men's and the women's.
Both teams got beat by Miami.
And it's crazy that those Cavender twins in WWE now. So.
All right, brother. Was there anything else? I think
I think that was it.
All right. Yeah, we'll be back Wednesday night. We'll talk NFC division winners, and then I'm sure there'll be a lot other stuff. NFL news coming out. We're getting injuries seems like all the time right now during these practices. Getting ready to finish up last week of preseason and get ready to kick off some football here in just about a week and a half. 2 weeks. It's gonna be fun. I'm ready for it. I hope you're right. I hope Big Glenn's prediction is right that the Colts are going to beat the Jags week 1.
I may have to buy a ticket for that.
I was hearing some people or some guys on the radio saying that today as well. So it's going to be interesting. But I think the Colts are going to be I think Colts are going to be better than what people think. I'm not saying I think they're going to be a playoff team, be a contender, but I think they could be like an 8 or 9 win team.
It'll be like the Fever this year. They'll be in games most of the year.
But we'll see what they look like here in week 1. Then we'll have a better feel for it. But we appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo'S Sports Room. Like and follow on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all Gonzo'S Sports Room as well. That's where we share all of our content about upcoming shows. We'll have some live pro wrestling this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Danville, Indiana, Warrior Pro Wrestling. So we'll be live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter at 3 p.m. Eastern with some live pro wrestling. Join us for that. I'll be airing the WCWO event here with probably the next couple of days. That features Al Snow in it. It was an awesome show, so be on the lookout for that. But we appreciate everybody watching. We'll see you guys on Wednesday night. And I hope everybody has a great week.